My name is Pio, and I'm from the SPCA Selangor. I'm pretty much the Humane Education Officer over here. And what I pretty much do is that I actually give talks to students, to public, and also to corporates as well.
Approximately 2 years old.
Currently, we have about 400 over animals in the shelter, but we have managed to bring down to below 100. Numbers of abandonment in the shelter is about 30 per month. There are many ways that people would surrender to us. Surrendering as in like abandoning, living in the shelter. One of the ways is that they would bring it into the shelter. And also sometimes if it's rescue cases or cruelty cases, we will have to go out to actually rescue the dog from the location itself. Currently, we are using at least about 60,000 ringgit per month just for food, expenses, billings, and everything else. We always welcome volunteers. There are many works that we really need help in. For example, if you have a special skill in marketing or in IT, designing, we will definitely need your help with new ideas. There are also other ways like to come into the shelter and help with the dog training schools and also rehabilitation for the dogs. And also if you are able to help with adoption, send out the news, that would be great help as well. Besides that, we also need donations. Donations usually from the public only because we're an NGO. So donations actually help us a lot in supporting the expenses for food and to keep the animals vaccinated and things like that, medication-wise basically. We usually accept volunteers from the age of 18 and above. If you are below 18, we'll definitely need you to have a guardian at all times. The main thing that you have to do is basically to be very passionate to the animals and you love animals. You must not be scared of dogs or cats, and just pretty much just come here and have fun with the animals basically. The good news is that we actually have about 20 to 30 adoption per month as well, depending on months actually, but average is about that number. The most important thing when you are planning to adopt a dog is to come to our shelter and have a look at our dogs. Basically, it's not the looks that actually matters, because what is important is that how you actually interact with the dog and how the dog interacts with you. And basically what happens is that you come into the shelter, you just walk around, you just have a look at our dogs and pick the one that is most suitable for you. Basically, it means your lifestyle. If your lifestyle is a very active one, we recommend that you get a more active dog so that you could walk with the dog to the parks and things like that. If, let's say, you are more of an indoor person, then maybe you might want to choose something that's a bit more calmer, a bit more quiet, but less attention when it comes to walking around in the park or the garden area, for example. Those are just a few requirements that we actually would need you to look at before you actually adopt a dog. And basically there is an adoption fee. It really depends on the front office and also our vets, and it usually range about 100 ringgit to 200 ringgit, and it actually covers the vaccination cost and also the spaying for the animal themselves.
Okay, my name is Dr. Pushpa. I've been working in the SPCA for 17 years. From my experience working here, we basically encourage people to neuter animals because our main aim is to control the population of animals which are born, unnecessarily born, and people abuse them because there's too many going around. So what our policy is to make sure everybody neuters their pets and there's not many unwanted animals out there in the streets. We would like to encourage people to be more responsible. Whenever they have pets, do their vaccination, do neutering, be a responsible owner by not letting your dogs or cats run into your neighbor's house, causing problems to your neighbors. One of the benefits of neutering will be if you have a female dog, as the years go by, the dog may actually develop memory tumor, ovarian cancer, stuff like that. That can be prevented. As for the male dogs, we worry about testicular cancer. Once it's removed, then you do not have all these problems. So it's also beneficial to neuter your pets other than just for the sake of not reproducing. Health-wise, it's also more beneficial if your dogs are neutered. As times to come, the dogs will not develop any cancer. If your dogs are actually healthy dogs, the chances of them dying on the operating table is very, very slim, unless the dog has some congenital problems, diseases that actually complicate the surgery part. So most vets would actually, if you are very wary of this, we are very scared of this problem, what you can do is your vet will actually run a battery of tests to make sure your dog is healthy before he goes in for the surgery. But in general, surgery, neutering is a very simple, minor procedure, and dogs, very, very small percentage would actually die on the table. So you do not have to worry about neutering because it's a very, very simple and minor procedure.